Hello, Drunkduckers. Hello, hello. May the 4th be with you. I'm Ozone Ocean. With me is Tance. Oh God, what were we saying before? With me is Princess Latance.
Princess Lance.
Princess Lance. Darth Baines and Obi-Wan the Ocean. So
we sound very German.
Oh God. Obi-Wan's the ocean. It's the ocean. Okay, so yeah, we're all here. We're gonna do like May the 4th be with you, because we're recording on the 4th of May. And so yeah, there we are. That's the theme behind the Quackcast. But before we do that, we have to get into our theme music. So let's cue up that and we'll go on. That was our theme music. I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, probably you didn't, because it's just a regular thing that's in every damn Quackcast. But oh well, there we go. Okay, so after that, we have the actual Quackcast. We've got to mention the featured comic. Quackcast has given us a featured comic. It's called The Lonely Planets, or just Lonely Planets. So, Cole, why? Tell us why the planets are so lonely.
Hello, this is Quackcast, and the feature I've selected for this week is Lonely Planets by Lu Ding Ninjia, and it is rated E for everyone. Lonely Planets is a chronological, monthly, slice-of-life comic centered around a mother, a father, and their son. Mini vignettes of each month's most memorable adventure is told in the span of a series of 2x2 comic strips. It is a snapshot of married life, overlapping with middle life, and deals with being a selective storyteller, the reason an entire community loves to go outside on walks in the fresh air, the strange behaviors of cats, and broad references to 1950s musical numbers. This comic contains multiple languages. A blend of East Asian languages along with cat texts share the pages with the English language. Become acquainted with Pinot Cat, the black and white cat whose ears lengthen when thinking about a non-truth, and read Lonely Planets by Lu Ding Ninjia, rated E.
That was our featured comic. Quackcast picking that, The Lonely Planets. Alright, so Gamos wasn't able to work on a theme because he was a little bit busy this week, so I've done a reissue of one of my absolute favourites. I think it's from Quackcast number 341. This is the theme to Tomb Busters. It's compelling, regal, atmospheric steel guitar country rock. This is a triumphant epic that will swallow you whole and leave you gasping for air. So take it away, Gamos, with your theme to Tomb Busters. And that was the theme to Tomb Busters, which is such a cool comic. But, I mean, that music is just one of my favourites. I love it. It's a comic by Stork Studio, rated T for teen. So have a look at that and see if it matches up to the song. Well, the music, not the song, because there's no singing. All right, back to the show. Okay, so the Quackcast. May the 4th be with you. That's our topic. Quackcast very intelligently came up with this topic. Do you know why she came up with this topic? Not only because it's the 4th of May, and that's, what people say, but it's also because there's a bit of confusion about the news posts, and it was like a last minute thing, but it was just a stroke of genius, just like the thunderbolt, just a meteorite, just zapped her in the head, and just wow, this excellent, brilliant idea, and she came up with that. So thank goodness we had that mix up with the news posts, and that came out. That's a great result, because we love talking about this particular subject in the Quackcast. May the 4th be with you. So Star Wars is a crap film that no one's ever heard of, and that's basically the end of the... Star Wars, a massive freaking sci-fi fantasy kind of hit. Incredible. And I want to talk about this from the point of view of the first film. And I'll say, there was so much luck and chance that went into this to turn... Quiet. Did I say quiet? No, can't slurp topic. I was wrong. Okay. Please correct me vocally for this.
No, I don't like to correct.
Because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, man. I have to be corrected. Okay.
I did it subtly with my Jedi mind speak.
Jedi mind.
Made a mistake. You made a mistake.
I want to say that, Star Wars... whole lot of luck behind it. Lucas, we talk about him now, from the after the thing has been done. Oh, it was genius. He planned this, he planned that. No, he didn't. So much of this was just pure fortune. And I want to talk about the point of view of the Star Wars, how it initially came about from that very first film. Not saying A New Hope, not talking about the whole series of them, just the very first film. So that all sort of came about because he's filming with these British actors in England, right? So he has to work with what's there. This isn't not every instance of this stuff is planned. I mean, they did come up with genius ideas of the designs for everything and the costumes and stuff, but that was because they were able to get these experts who are in England and America, who came up with these excellent product designs and designs for the outfits and the costumes and the armor and all that kind of stuff. So they were able to work with genius people. But working over in those British studios meant that they had a pool of these great British actors to choose from. So all the Empire is chosen from these amazing Shakespearean actors and horror actors and things like that. Just these incredible people. We all know them. I can't remember any of their names. Peter Cushing, there you go.
Peter Cushing
and many others. Just all geniuses. Even the guy who played Darth Vader, Frank Prowse. An interesting, even though he doesn't speak, he's an interesting man. His physicality is incredible. Very, very educated. Not that educated because he's just a bodybuilder, but still above the level of what you would have got with a bodybuilder in the States. Anyway. And all the other people, Peter Mayhew doing Chewbacca. Who else? The guy who played C-3PO.
Anthony Daniels and Alec Guinness.
Yes, of course, Alec Guinness. Even the guy in the C-3PO. That guy. Another big
R2, you mean Kenny Baker?
Oh, yeah.
Kenny Baker.
But yeah, so many of them, but all the bad guys in the Star Destroyers, these, the Imperial troopers, even yeah.
Remember that Irish guy in the beginning with the weird hair? He's slamming Darth Vader. I always notice him on rewatch.
Yeah, he sets the tone.
This battle station. I think he's Irish, maybe. So he's got this unique kind of thing in that movie.
I haven't watched enough. I cannot think of what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
I believe you. I believe you. But yeah, so because he was filming over there, he just happened to have all these freaking amazing people who really set the tone and the look of, you know, the whole thing, which is just amazing. And say the Empire guns that they've got, these iconic blasters that even of course, you know, Han Solo's famous pistol, but all the Empire guns, you know, the stormtroopers carried, all this stuff is based on the weapons that they happen to have in those studios. These real German machine guns and British like Sten guns and stuff like that. Star Wars guns wouldn't have looked like that if it was done in America or if it was done anywhere else. They only look like that because it was done there. So even like the paneling on the walls of Star Destroyers, it has these oblong with rounded edges vents that are really iconic. They have lights behind them. These kind of cut out like vents on the walls. So that's based on the MG 42 machine guns, because it has those cutouts in its shroud. So and that's a particular, you know, kind of weapon style. Anyway, it has that look because of where it happened to be.
The helmet, the shape of the helmet that Darth Vader has, and also the stormtroopers, that's basically Nazi helmets, just with a bigger flare in the back, and like they are a bit more bombastic, I guess. But that's the design. That's the shape.
Yeah, it has a lot of influence of that stuff. It has a few influences, I think. Yeah, it's that and the samurai kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
European Saleh kind of helmets. But yeah, it has that very much in that kind of thing. And of course, I mean, they were very influenced by Nazi war propaganda and all kinds of war movies and stuff like that, because, you know, the Imperial Stormtroopers, even the name Stormtrooper, we associate that with German soldiers. And then we've got like the scenes of them all like lined up together, like from the Triumph of the Will by Leni Riefenstahl, that kind of stuff. So yeah, very, very much sort of based on that look, which was, you know, very much in the minds of these people who were doing all these films in the UK. You know, that was their main jobs, doing these kind of things. So they would have worked on, you know, countless projects like that. So that's the main point I wanted to say, that it wasn't just all down to his genius and his forethought. A lot of it was just chance because of the materials he had to work with, inspiring other things and environmental influences.
You could say that the entire first trilogy, in a sense, is a storm in a bottle, because they do a lot of things that usually fail, but work in this. Like, for example, retconning the relationship between Princess Leia and Luke. They were not intended to be siblings in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah, they were sort of going by the seat of their pants.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
But and they had to actually cover up the whole thing that Obi-Wan in the first movie says that, you know, Darth Vader killed your father. So they actually sit down and they address this, like, what I told you is true from a certain point of view, you know, that sort of thing. And it added a lot of nuance, because it makes the characters start very like iconically white and dark, like light and dark. Very much a knight's hero's journey for Luke.
Yeah.
And, you know, storm the castle, save the princess, that sort of thing. It's very much medieval, like a medieval story, proud knight, fair lady sort of thing, coupled with other stories. But basically that's it. And in the middle, because they had to retcon so many things, they add nuance, and the characters become grayer in many ways.
Yeah, they deepened it. That's true.
Yeah. They make mistakes. They are less trustworthy. They have different aspects of themselves. The only one that stays super black, and when I say black, I mean like a black heart level, is the Emperor. Uh,
Yeah.
he's the only one that nuance,
There's no
basically.
redemption for
Yeah,
him ever.
uh, which you can buy because someone that is so far gone into the dark side, like that is basically the devil, would not be redeemable
Yeah,
or
he's basically the devil. That's a good point. That's the way he's depicted. He's a dark force. You know, when I was watching it as a kid, that was weird to me because obviously Darth Vader was. I mean, when you see him in the beginning, Darth Vader is the big evil, the big bad. But then it's Grand Moff Tarkin that's actually the
He's in
boss.
charge. Yeah.
But he's not as evil as Darth Vader. He's just in charge. I mean, he is pretty evil. He is the one who decides for the whole
the
planet to get
yeah.
blasted. So he's bad. But you think Darth Vader is the real evil guy, don't you? I mean, that's what I did when I was young.
Yeah. Well,
He's
Darth Vader is more like he's black. He's the Black Knight. He's the Black Knight in the first movie. He's
Yeah.
not necessarily the evil one, like the super evil.
That's what I thought of him though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he has the commanding. He's got James Earl Jones doing that voice, and nothing beats James Earl Jones in terms of voice.
Absolutely, yeah.
Peter Cushing just can't do it, you know.
He's amazing. Peter Cushing is awesome. But yeah, I mean, Vader stands out.
Yeah.
But then the Emperor comes in, and you think, well, that's an evil below what I ever suspected of Darth Vader or Grand Moff Tarkin. That's a new evil again. And that's just unfathomable. Well, how could you beat that? How could you destroy that? You can't. You can't fight against it. And it turns out he couldn't. Luke couldn't beat the Emperor. No one could beat the Emperor. It was only through Darth Vader murder-suiciding in the end there.
Right.
That was the only way to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. Did you have that kind of feeling that was another level below?
Wait, that was another level.
You know, the Emperor as his evil versus, you know, so first we have Darth Vader, then we have Grand Moff Tarkin, and then we have the Emperor as, you know, the ultimate kind of evil villain in the movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. I didn't really put Tarkin in that category. I didn't even completely notice him probably till I got older and rewatched the movie. But yeah, definitely. I don't think there's any mention of the Emperor in the first movie. I could be wrong.
Maybe no, I'm talking about the entire kind of
the trilogy.
The trilogy there, because Tance sort of mentioned the Emperor.
Yeah, him coming in. I was just thinking about him last night. I was watching or thinking about Roger Rabbit and the judge. You know, Christopher Lloyd plays Judge Doom or Judge Dune or whatever. And he's this just evil character, just completely evil, you know, no redemption arc or anything. We're just trying to defeat him / kill him, whatever. And thinking about him and the Emperor and how neat it is to have. And I think Tance has talked about this before, like having villains, just out and out villains who are not redeemed and who are just evil to be vanquished.
Yeah, it is. And that's why, like when Tance says like he is the devil, that was a very good comparison because basically that's what he is. He's not like, oh, I'm a nice to kittens and, you know, like, yeah, I do this on the weekends and these are my hobbies. He's just a dick.
Yeah.
It's nothing
My
good
stepfather was a really bad guy. He never says anything like that.
The dick. Yeah, so that's an interesting factor. All right, so yeah, the first movie. What were your favorite characters in the first film?
I was Han, Chewie, Luke.
Okay.
They've been my heroes my whole life.
You
and I
know what?
still love them. Yeah. I love
My-
Leia and the droids as well, but Leia's a girl. She's great. She's awesome. But
She's a
for me, as a
girl.
young boy, it was Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and I love Chewbacca as well.
You know who I identify with? My favorite character when I first watched the film.
Let me guess. It's that boxy droid who's waddling around in the Jawa.
The two,
Yeah,
Eskies that are joined together.
just a box with a pair of feet. He's a great character.
It was no, that was the sand guy who hits everyone on the head with the stick. No, it was it was what's his name? Helmet guy. The Mandalorian man, isn't he in it?
No, he didn't. They inserted
Boba
him
Fett.
when they redid the movie.
Oh
talking
man,
about-
is he not in that? Is he in the second film
Yeah.
with what the frick is his name?
Boba Fett?
Boba Fett. That's it. So he's only in the second film.
Yeah.
Ah, I freaking loved him. He was my favorite. Okay, so my
Oh, you
favorite.
hated him. Didn't you say you hated Boba Fett last time we talked about this?
I hate what he's become. I hate what
Oh,
they turned him
gotcha.
into. He was
Yeah, fair
awesome then.
Right.
Now he's
Yeah.
just this fat bald idiot. But yeah, back then he was cool. Stops this fat bald guy. He was groovy back then. Never showed his face. We never spoke. He was genius. Anyway, okay. So the first film, my favorite would have been Luke. There we go.
Mm.
Oh, and
Yeah.
the gold guy, C-3PO, loved him.
Oh my god, I found him so annoying. Annoying.
I thought, yeah, C3, well, R2D2, you are a dick. C-3PO is right. He should tell you off. People should be nicer to C-3PO. He's a classy dude. He's high class. All you guys are below him. Treat him well. He's cool.
I guess I like. I'm trying to think who I really liked. I liked Luke, obviously. I liked Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah.
98%. Because the 2% that pissed me off was the way he died. I expected him to die in a sense because the mentor and all that. But like I wanted either if he died the way he did to become what he promised and he never did, or to put up more of a fight, buy more time for the other people, then die.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think most people are disappointed by this. I could become more powerful than you possibly imagine.
Yeah, okay, let's see it, old man.
You could possibly imagine.
I remember being so confused by that as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, if you strike me down, I'll be more powerful. And by the end of the movie, I still didn't understand it really.
Yeah. I think the way that he glances and he realizes that Luke is watching helplessly, basically, and
Yeah.
he lets himself get killed to basically put the fire of revenge in Luke, more or less, which I think is a dick move, honestly. So
He has this fantastic superpower, basically, when he dies. He can go, use the Force, Luke, from anywhere in the world.
That's his power. But I mean,
That's
yeah, I took it
incredible.
to be like, later watching it, I took it to be like, he has a spiritual knowledge. Even if he doesn't know exactly what's going to happen, he knows in some way that this is the chance. This is the only chance. And what he means by more powerful really is something we're not capable of understanding in the physical world, so there's never really an answer.
I think it's a cop-out, I'll be honest. But yeah,
You think it's what?
a cop-out.
Yeah, it could be.
It's interesting, though. I mean, I think it's obviously done as a kind of freak out by Lucas. He wrote that in saying, they won't be expecting this.
yeah, the mentor dies moment and stuff like that, which became more expected later. What an actor, though, man, Alec Guinness. He is incredible in that movie. And even he thought it was kind of silly. The dialogue was silly, even though he wanted to play a wizard kind of character.
Okay.
Yeah, he could have had the same death, just more bombastic in the sense that Darth Vader is stronger because he has been practicing it a lot more. He has more enhancements, blah blah blah, and it wouldn't be that bad to have him lose to Darth Vader, but by a fraction.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, not just let him win. Like why would you do that? Never let evil win if you can help it. So
Yeah.
I mean, one thing you could say is like, Baines is saying, so he's going for this unknowable power, but you could also say that he needed Vader in order to complete the link. He couldn't just kill himself, or he couldn't just, fall off a cliff or something like that and become super powerful. He had to lure Darth Vader into killing him, and then he was able to access that level of force. So it was his gambit all along. That's all he wanted,
it's
Or
still
something like
suicide by
Luke has.
Vader.
I'm sorry.
No, I said it's still suicide by Vader.
It's true. Yeah. Some kind of sense that he has that Luke has come far enough in
Yeah.
the early part of his journey. It's like now he can go forward, and I can pass on. It's a larger view of
Yeah.
the world, that even his own death kind of doesn't matter. In a
Yeah,
way.
okay, that's interesting. That's clever. What do you reckon about all this kind of retcon bullshit after the prequels came out and people going, oh yeah, but they actually met before, and he knew he was this, and he knew he was that, and like, oh, high ground, and oh, I just think that it just weakens the movie. It doesn't lend any strength to it.
I mean, there is implication that they have background, like history together, because Vader does say that you have become rusty.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
implies that, yeah, you were better before. So yeah,
they
okay.
have background that they would have had to write in because these people are meant to know each other from the old days, but it's nothing to do with that. That whole film prequel thing that was, thought up 20 years later.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with these things, They were just created from whole cloth.
Mm.
And now people, come on, sorry, I keep butting in.
No, you're gone.
Well, I was just going to say, now people, are looking back on these things and sort of mentally altering how they should see these films made. This film made in 1977 from this film made in 2099. I don't even know when the prequels were made, but it changes the way they view it in the dumbest ways, and it lends different ways of looking at this fight, which can only spoil it.
Yeah.
Because this is a superior film.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the danger with a prequel. When you write a prequel, you will disappoint at least a few people because you will be going against their head canon. And usually that is disappointing when your head canon collapses, especially if it's not replaced with something that is at least on the same level of exciting or whatever.
I don't think this is headcanon. It's the fact that it affects what we have seen. So this is actual canon. It messes up.
Yeah. That too, absolutely, yeah. And I do think that characters were dealt a nasty hand because you have several awkward moments of interaction. Like there was no reason for kid Anakin to meet like a amygdala that was already like an adult. And
That's
why? Why?
so
Why would?
gross.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some strange choices. Yeah, that
yeah,
was.
That's so freaking gross. No one brings up the fact that he's a child and he falls for this girl, and then they get married and have a child of their own.
no.
It's just
Like
gross.
I could go for they meet as kids and then
Yeah,
they meet
of
again as
course.
adults. Sure, absolutely. It's a trope anyway. It's like you meet as kids, then
Mm.
something happens, you get separated, and then you meet again as all grown. And
Yeah, it was meant to be a fated kind of thing, but
yeah,
this
yeah,
was gross.
yeah. So
And
you have go
people
on.
might say, "Oh, but wouldn't it be okay if it was reversed? You know, it was a little girl." And no, it's not okay if it's either.
No. It
But I'm just
would
doing
be
it.
worse.
That's a straw man of me to bring that up as a straw man because no one's actually saying that. But if they did, straw man to you. I've straw man to you.
No. I mean, yeah, so many weird choices. I don't know. I mean, and generally, I don't see why they retconned the whole Vader killed your father. Like, why did they have to be the same person? They could have been, very close friends, and then Vader kills Anakin, and you still have the same story, and
Mm.
you don't need to retcon as many things. Is what I'm
That,
saying.
that's a retcon in Empire Strikes Back, though, isn't it? Vader
No,
kills.
I mean when they were writing Empire Strikes Back,
Yeah. They
not now.
retconned it there. Yeah. Yeah, that was I am your father or whatever it is.
I think they did it for shock value more than anything else. Like, that sort of thing.
It was a bit
And
dumb.
it could still have worked because he could even have pulled like an Arthurian legend bait and switch in the sense that he wanted to steal Anakin's wife. The wife is very loyal. So what does he do? He goes to the dark side. He possesses her mind to think that she's looking at her husband, that is Anakin.
Uh-huh.
They do the deed. There, I am your father. You
So
could
what you're
still
talking
do
about
that.
is Uther Pendragon and
Yeah.
I can't remember what the story was. But Uther.
Oh my God, how could I forget her name? Oh, come on.
We all saw it in the movie Excalibur. They did an
Yeah.
excellent version of it there.
Yeah, one of the most faithful, honestly. But yeah, you could do that. I mean, you are already stealing. You are lifting patterns from all the medieval stories and stuff. So why not?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
that.
I suppose that level of stuff would have been too complicated for them to sort of just.
Why?
Well, but I mean, all that. If I'm taking you right, that could have been in Return of the Jedi. That all could have been unraveled a little bit, and then maybe shown in the prequels, like a different version of the prequels. Like many Quackcasts ago, we talked about Tanz's version of the prequels, and there it was very cool. I mean, I can't really get on board with critiquing the "I am your father" idea. It's amazing to me.
No, I love that. I love the I am your father idea.
Can I just say,
that, yeah,
outside of that kind of stuff, Empire Strikes Back had more cool things in it than any other Star Wars film that's ever been made. Like even in the beginning, you're introducing this fight on an ice planet with these amazing 3-story high war walker things. So freaking cool. Spaceships flying around, tangling their legs, tripping them over. Then you have like ice beasts with horns, that they ride. The whatchamacallit, I can't remember.
Oh yeah, the Tauntauns.
Tauntauns, yeah. You've got an ice base. Then later on, you have a cloud city, like a floating city in a cloud. You have freaking what's his name? What's that?
Ugnaughts.
Ugnaughts.
Yeah. Anyone? The
No.
little pig dudes who work on Cloud City, the guys who are throwing around 3PO's head. Little pig
Oh,
men.
really?
Oh,
That's
oh
what they're
my
called.
God. I didn't know they were called that.
Oh,
You've
I
got-
had an action figure. Yes, I guess I called it.
That's cool. You got Landau Calrissian.
Yeah.
This is very
This
cool.
such a suave dude.
And you
Like
have
he
Yoda.
is Han Solo, but
Yeah.
a suave version of him.
Mhm.
Like the cool version of Han Solo.
And
Yeah.
also,
In a cape. Like I love the cape. Everything about Cloud City is so cool. I just freaking love it.
no, I mean, Empire Strikes Back is a masterpiece. No question about it. I'm not saying that it's not good. And there is one of my favorite parts of Star Wars in it, which is Luke's vision when he walks into that dark cave-like thing
Oh,
where
yeah.
he fights Darth Vader and then he sees that it's himself.
Yeah, you're right. Yoda and the whole training thing on
Yeah.
I can't remember the name. Agrabah or something.
No. Yeah, I don't know why I'm pulling blanks right now.
Dagobah.
Dagobah.
Yeah.
Agrabah.
Thinking of
My God.
Aladdin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he went to Dagobah with the 40 thieves and said, "Open sesame." Got in the cave, and then he got the magic lamp.
And
Yeah.
they also introduced this concept of this really tiny creature that was immensely powerful, with Yoda lifting the X-wing
Yeah.
from the swamp.
With
And
Grover's
that's
voice.
yeah, that was amazing. And that's why I got it. Like I found it funny, but I also got a little like pissed when we saw him fighting like a rubber ball
Oh,
with a
God.
with a lightsaber. Like, yeah, okay, it is a fun choreography, but I would
No,
have
it's
liked
not.
I would have liked to see him use the force. Just stand there and be a beast with the force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you expect because he's this little guy. I mean,
Yeah.
in like he's incredible with the Force. You expect him to fight, being like Mister like, I know what you're gonna do before you've even done it. Like a flick of the hand sort of thing is gonna deflect any blow that anyone else does to him. Just barely moves at all. That's how he should have been fighting. Not this stupid bouncy ball crap that a 5-year-old would think is cool. Like have him being just
Very
a
strange.
master.
Yeah, and imagine I wouldn't give him one lightsaber. I would give him 4, and he doesn't. No, wait.
You're
But
dead to me, Tance. You're dead to me.
I would give him 4. I would give him 4 lightsabers, and he would use the force to make them float, and it would be like fighting 4 of him.
No.
He's at a distance.
I know
And-
what you're saying, but I mean, you're sort of saying, like force and power these things because he can make them hover and float like telekinesis. I would have just made him like Mr. Subtlety, just one lightsaber in his hand, but nothing could hit him because he was just so like double, triple thinking and force shielding him. So I would have done it like super subtle. But I can see where you're coming from. The whole telekinesis superpower, like showing.
Yeah, and I totally would go for your version, absolutely. And basically, I would just have him, like, have his little hands there, very, very calmly, just do tiny movements, and and these lightsabers are basically everywhere, and good luck, dodging them. And whoever can force him to drop the sabers, that's going to be your big bad.
Yeah, like sucks the power out of the room sort of thing, which the Emperor could have done.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
that could have been the Emperor's hidden move. But, okay, so we shouldn't get in too much in the weeds and say what should have happened. Like, we should say what we love about what was there. The Bespin, of course.
I love
That's
that
the name of the city.
in Empire State. I like the fact that the tiny guy was the most powerful one in the room. I love that.
Yeah.
what about Return of the Jedi? So I mean, there's some objectively silly things in Return, like the Ewoks. I mean, they're not that bad. I loved them when I was a kid, but of course they are a bit of a too much of a change in tone. But there are a lot of cool things about the Return of the Jedi. Like I love the land speeders, those bikes going through the trees.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's just amazingly cool. And Princess Leia being a badass, you know, like with the disguise and everything. I mean, then she turns into Slave Leia, which is every 14-year-old boy's like crush kind of thing. That's cool.
Yeah, but she still chokes him to death. So.
Yeah. But I mean, she was the cool spy that you don't expect. You see this I don't know, like bounty hunter kind of person going in and entering, you know, the fat dude's lair, Jabba the Hutt's lair, and you think, oh my god, who is this person? And it turns out to be Leia, which was super unexpected.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. And I also really like the image of Luke, like in his black outfit, walking up to Jabba the Hutt's gate, I guess, how you would call it. And he's just doing the subtle thing, like, you know, just a little bit of movement with his hand. And the guards just let him pass and all of that. I love that.
Yeah. He was a different level. He changed so much since the first and second films. He was a totally different character. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was a totally different character, but he was one that bounced from trauma, from going through emotional and physical trauma and everything and the shock, and he's bouncing back. He's not completely back yet, because you can see that he's angry. He has anger that he controls, but he still has anger, and he's been practicing clearly. And I love to see that. I love to see it. And he has become a strategist as well, because he has this plan. Since C3PO, or not C3PO, R2D2 in a place where he can eject his lightsaber, all of that.
But you compare him in how he was in the first film. I know you're saying like the trauma and practice, but he was he's advanced so much more from that naive farm boy who just wants to go out and join the rebels. He just wants to do everything, versus this guy who can do everything. He doesn't have any wants or fantasies. He just wants to get the job done. That's all he wants to do. And that's just... It's totally different. Like, it could even be different actors when you're looking at it.
Absolutely, yeah.
From this shaggy-haired, wide-eyed guy to this super stable, quiet, very calm, very well-dressed fellow. It's such a change.
And you can also tell, like, from the way he quote-unquote negotiates with Jabba the Hutt. Because it's not really a negotiation, it's an ultimatum that he gives him.
Right.
Absolutely love it.
And Jabba, oh my goodness me. Like so some cool things about that Empire, Return of the Jedi. Jabba the Hutt's floating barge. How cool is that thing? It's amazing. Who would have thought of that? It's genius. So weird and cool. It's like a pirate ship, basically, floating over sand. It's groovy, and they throw people into these monsters. What's that?
The Sarlacc pit.
Sarlacc pit, yeah. These fantastic carnivorous plant kind of monster things. That's so... Everything about it is so cool and unusual and original.
Yeah, very creative. It's really neat.
And then we have so we have the Super Death Star, which was a bit I think even when I watched it then, that was a bit, okay, so it's the same, but it's bigger. All right, whatever. But the massive space battle in the end is really cool with all the ships and the super duper Star Destroyer, which crashes into the massive Death Star and destroys it. That was pretty cool.
That was cool. And I think I didn't mind that it was like a bigger Death Star, because I think the bigger issue was like the fight was in like between the Emperor and Luke in a battle not only of wits but emotions as well, like who would be able to crack the other one.
Mhm.
And I really enjoyed that. The Emperor is like so self-assured and so confident that he can manipulate like absolutely everyone, and he can win. Everything has gone as I foreseen. That's so nice.
I hate that when villains do that. It's an anime
Yeah.
thing. Dance, you have to
Yeah, I
do
have
that.
to do that. Yeah, there you go. Now with the glass. Um, and how he plays Luke, and he almost gets there. He almost gets to breaking him.
Yeah.
And then when this fails, he immediately breaks and crumbles because he cannot take it that he failed. And yeah, he goes like
Well,
with a
I mean, his plan is basically, so the whole setup is, so there's only 2 Sith Lords at a time, and so it's the Emperor and Darth Vader, and his whole plan is to have, okay, ha ha ha, you're the next powerful guy now, so you have to kill your dad in order to be my second in command, and that's how it's going to be. So that's the whole plan. So Luke is meant to kill Darth Vader, but Luke refuses to kill Darth Vader, but the Emperor's, that doesn't matter to the Emperor because Darth Vader will kill Luke and he'll still be in power, whatever. But Darth Vader scotches that, decides to kill the Emperor instead. So he finally discovers a bit of fatherly loyalty, like familial loyalty to his son, just comes out of nowhere, and his humanity resurfaces, and he takes out the Emperor. But if that hadn't happened, then the Emperor would have won. If Darth hadn't have had that turn, so Luke had to have convinced his dad.
Mm-hmm. He basically did. I think now that I think of it, like we're discussing it, he did what Obi-Wan did to him in the first movie. He did to his dad. Like he made him watch his son be tortured, basically, which is as close as you get to actually killing him. So he caused, because he had the same reaction, like like father, like son, sort of thing.
Yeah,
But
wakes a bit of humanity in him for his only family.
Mm-hmm.
Finally. I mean, obviously he's got his daughter as well, but she's not in front of him getting tortured. So.
Yeah.
Tell your sister you were right about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta love that actor. Mm. Well, I can't remember his name, but he was the proper Darth Vader actor. I can't remember his freaking name.
Hayden Christensen.
Oh God, Vader! Now you're dead to me too.
No, though, one thing that the prequels did right, since we're talking about the positive things, is that the reason they portray that the reason that Anakin turned to the dark side was anger. It was not like he became so angry and he was so like without control of his anger that he gave in to the dark side and then was corrupted, blah blah blah, all of that. So that means that as soon as the anger abated, he could think clearly again. And in that moment where his son was being tortured and all of that, the anger abated. So he turns
All
back.
right, yeah.
Right.
It's not feeling anger anymore. He's feeling love.
Yeah, because the anger stemmed from love, in the sense that, if I remember right, because I only watched the prequel once.
Yeah, it was about the either his wife dying or almost dying or something.
Yeah,
I've only seen them once as
and I
well.
think his mom, something about his mom as well. He couldn't save his
Yeah,
mom.
earlier, her death.
I don't know. It was all one whole wave of bullshit to me.
Yeah, but in any case, the bullshit was that he got so angry that the Jedi didn't help or whatever. That's why he went to the Sith, to be able to protect his loved ones. So, moot point.
Yes. So
Mhm.
that's. I can't even remember what film that was in. Like,
I
it
don't
wasn't in the first one.
know.
Attack of the Clones or the Attack of the.
I think it was in the third one where he turns. He turns in the third,
Okay.
right? So,
I don't know.
yeah, I do think that they did this right. That the reason that he turned was because he was too angry and he too desperate and too, all of that. And all of that stemmed from the love and the need to protect his family and keep them from dying. Now that his son is dying, he has no reason to be a Sith. He turns and kills. Like, his
Right.
his go-to move to protect his loved ones is to kill everyone else. To keep them dead. So
It's
that's
the only way to
exactly
do it.
what he does.
Let's just. I was gonna say, like, my favorite Star Wars films are the trilogy.
Mhm.
Yeah, the first one and Empire Strikes Back. Those are the two best ones, and then Return of the Jedi. And then I will say Solo and Rogue One.
Mhm.
And a weird place in my heart for the crazy weird films. Attack on Battle for Endor and Caravan of Courage,
I haven't
which are
seen
the
that.
two. Those are two early weird Star Wars films that no one ever brings up,
Mm.
and they're totally canon, totally Star Wars.
Mm.
And they are all about Ewoks.
Oh, that's why I didn't see that. Because even as a
Yeah.
kid, I hated.
They're weird and magical and strange. But yeah, but Solo and which everyone hates for some reason. Again, that's another one everyone hates. And
Mm.
and Rogue One, which is freaking cool. It does go on too long, and it has some weird moments, but it's a cool overall film. So I reckon those ones are worthy. They're way better than the prequels, way better than the sequels, and they're
Mhm.
right up with the Mandalorian. I reckon. Not
Okay.
Caravan of Courage and Battle for Endor, but those are better than the sequels and the prequels.
I haven't seen them, so I wouldn't be able to. I have no opinion. Um, my favorite Star Wars films that I have seen is Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Those are my favorite ones.
Wow. Okay. All
Mm.
right. What about you, Bones?
Yeah, it's a tough one between the first two. Um, of course, Return of the Jedi completes so many things. The
The
completion of
trilogy.
Luke's character arc at the end,
Mhm.
all that stuff is amazing. A plus. The stuff in Jabba's palace when all the characters are back together and it's a little more of a fun adventure. That's A plus. Um, but yeah, other than that, the first two movies are really what it is. I
All
can still
right.
watch them and love them. And then yeah, the Mandalorian show ended up, especially with some redemption for
Mm.
Luke's character at the end of season two. Those two seasons, I really love that as a kind of a little coda, and you could have all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I haven't seen Solo
Mandalorian.
or Rogue One either.
Really? Okay. Well, we've got to do that as a Quackcast. Rogue One and Solo. We've got to do it.
Okay.
Next May the 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Rogue
need
One has
to prepare.
Solo has a lot of stuff that I think is dumb, but overall it's a good film. And
I believe it. I think it flopped for other reasons. We don't have to get into all that, but I think a lot of the audience was sort of pretty upset with The Last Jedi, and Solo came out after that. And I think that's got to be a big reason why it was such a big flop.
You know what? I for myself, I know that I basically lost interest in Star Wars after
the prequels.
not the prequels. After the second movie, I don't remember the name.
Last Jedi.
Is it Last Jedi?
Yeah, Last Jedi.
And
the second sequel, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I lost interest, and I just couldn't bring myself to watch the other movies. I didn't. I mean, even if you told me that they were really good, I still wouldn't have much motivation to see them.
Yeah. I'm in exactly the same boat after The Last Jedi and what they did with Luke. In the theater, I thought, oh, this was okay. And then in the day or two after, I was like, that was actually horrible. And they killed him. And then, and then I was done as well. I had no interest. And even watching The Mandalorian was a little bit tainted because of that, of what they did to the original characters. And then it really healed me a lot when Luke came back in that one scene. Like, it was like, oh, I could feel good about that and say goodbye to Star Wars with that.
I saw that last scene and nothing else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember myself, and that has happened to me in very few movies. That I felt myself becoming angry as I was watching. I wasn't thinking anything. I was just becoming angry.
The Two Towers, I think it was, or whatever, the second Lord of the Rings
film,
I became angry, and I did not want to watch any more of the Lord of the Rings stuff from Jackson after that. That was when I saw Legolas snowboarding down the ramparts.
That's when I also said
that was the end, which was a good moment. But one of the greatest things in any Star Wars films is the last scene in Rogue One.
Oh, yeah. I have seen that one. Yeah. I've seen the scene. That's an amazing scene.
Oh yeah.
But that's the end of Rogue One. So you watch the entire film, and then everything happens, and blah blah blah. You know, she gets the plans for the Death Star, and you know they all die or whatever, and then that's even after the credits, I think.
Just like a cherry on top kind of thing.
It makes Darth Vader into an even bigger badass than he was in the first film.
Yeah.
Which is a huge thing.
Nice.
Like he was turned into such a piece of crap by the prequels. And if you just watch the prequels and then watch the original series, like Darth Vader loses all his power. He's no longer an awesome character anymore because you saw what he became, like he started off as. But if you see that scene in Rogue One, that restores it completely, and that makes him an even bigger badass, which is amazing. So,
yeah, that was cool, I have to say, and that's the only thing I watched from Rogue
One. Same, yeah. Although I've heard a lot of good things about Rogue One. Like Tan said earlier, after The Last Jedi, it was really all my interest went away. Star Wars.
Well, they do a lot of crap. I mean, like there's Andor. I can't stand Andor. I've watched a bit of it. It's freaking boring as anything.
Oh yeah, I've heard the people say it's good, but yeah, it's not super popular.
It's so dull. Yeah. There's a lot of Star Wars that crap. There's droids. That wasn't a bad animation back in the 80s. And I can't stand the Clone Wars. Anyone who likes clothes is shit. Okay.
This was neat, though. I didn't realize we'd be talking about the trilogy today. It was fun.
All right, we've got under a minute, so we can wrap up. The trilogy is good. May the 4th be with you. Thanks, guys, for being part of Quackcast number 686.
Thank you.
Thank you. Never tell me the odds.
Okay. But bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you next week when we talk about something that's even cooler.
Yay. What? Nobody knows.
I don't know. Something.
Wootini!
Oh, no.
We'll have the musical Quackcast.